So today I've got another ASUS motherboard. This is the P6T SE. So P6 would mean it's an LGA1366 board, and SE means it's part of their special edition. And so this is a pretty value-oriented board. So you can see, first of all, right off the bat, there is no SLI logo. So this is a Crossfire board only, but it does support Quad Crossfire X. It's Windows 7 ready, it's an X58 board, so that means it supports the Core i7 as well as the Core i7 Extreme. So it does not support Core i5 or any of the LGA1366 CPUs. It has solid capacitors rated at, wow, 57 years at 65 degrees, very cool. 8+2 phase power design, Turbo V. It supports DDR3 up to 2000 megahertz, and it has Express Gate, which is highly irrelevant. Okay, so let's have a look at what is on the inside. First of all, you've got your I/O shield. Okay, so that's a fairly standard I/O shield. It is silver, has their little foamy backing on it, very nice. You've got Q connector, so I'm guessing this board doesn't support FireWire based on there's one that's not in there. You've got 4 SATA cables, so 2 of them are right angle and 2 of them are straight. Then you have an IDE cable. Then you have the user's guide, as well as, oh, there's like a little addendum in here. So LAN port, oh no, okay, this is an information update for the user guide that comes with, yeah, okay. So they're telling you about what it means if the LEDs are lit on your onboard LAN. Okay, awesome. Then you have a driver DVD, which you shouldn't use. You should download the latest off the ASUS website. And this user guide is all English, so that's a fairly thick user guide there, although not as thick as the P6T 7WS supercomputer motherboard. All right, let's get this thing open. Now, like I said, it's a more value-oriented board, but don't get me wrong, this is still a full-fledged X58 board, so you're going to find most of the features that you would come to expect. First of all, you've got an LGA1366 socket right here, and the obligatory support for triple-channel DDR3 memory. Okay, they've got a warning right here. According to Intel CPU spec, DIMMs with voltage setting over 1.65 may damage the CPU permanently. So you're going to want to use something like G-Skill's Eco line of memory, or anything else that runs under or at 1.65 volts. The lower, the better. Okay, so we've got our onboard power switch right here. Let's work our way down. So we've got our 24-pin power connector exactly where it belongs. 6 SATA ports, 2 of which are coming right off the board, and 4 of which, all of these running off the chipset, are coming out the side of the board. Now the reason for that is that you can see the top Pci Express 16X connector would run exactly here. So you can access these 2, run them up to the top for like an optical drive or whatever else, and then these 4 you can use for hard drives, perfect. Then you've got your IDE connector, here's your chipset. Then you've got 3 USB headers, as well as your front panel connectors. Then you've got oh, there is a FireWire connector. Or header. They don't give you they don't give you an adapter for it. Then there's a spot for a floppy port, but there isn't one on the board, go figure. Then you have your front panel audio. Okay, in terms of the Pci Express configuration on this board, you've got 2 Pci Express 16X, and I'm going to go ahead and assume this one runs at 8X. Although I can't see how many connectors are in there. You've got 1 PCI Express 1X and 2 PCI slots. You've got your chipset, which is connected by a heat pipe up to your VRM cooling, one of them. And then you've got the other VRM heatsink up here. It doesn't use their cool, like, Fortress of Solitude style VRM coolers, but no, that's okay. I can kind of let it slide this time. In its ideal location at the top left of the board, you've got your 8-pin power connector. Okay, and I think that pretty much takes care of everything on the front of the board. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got on the back panel. First of all, you've got a PS2 keyboard and PS2 mouse port. That's the wrong color. This is the first time I've ever seen a PS2 keyboard port that's like a dark blue rather than like a light purple. Totally irrelevant, but interesting nonetheless. Okay, then we've got 6 USB 2.0 ports. This is a bit of an older board, so you don't have USB 3.0 support, although it's hard to say how important that is yet. You've got both digital audio interfaces, both coaxial and optical, FireWire, eSATA, 1 gigabit Ethernet, and 7.1 audio. Thank you for checking out my unboxing of the P6T SE from ASUS.